All right, welcome to this tutorial where we're going to take your old resume, the one that sort of stayed and everybody else looks like everybody else's, and make it look something different. And so as you can see on the screen there, I've got two examples here. And so the first one, this actually got some watermarks on it. That's what those are. But you can see they got sort of a sidebar. They've used lorem ipsum just to fill in the text here, just some stuff that doesn't really, you can't read it, but it just sort of gives you what it would look like. And then you can see the work experience put in there, personal skills with bars, which is kind of an interesting idea, and education, and then proficiency, and then you can see with bars as well. And then, these little symbols here to denote what we're talking about. So it's kind of a more modern look, and you can grab a bit of information a bit quicker perhaps, and it stands out. Now, you could try to emulate that, and I encourage you to try doing something like that. I'm going to give you a tutorial on basically this one here, okay? And so I'm going to show you how to do this, it's got some of the same ideas. I actually prefer the color scheme of this. I think this looks a bit more professional. I think this has got a bit too many colors, and I would be wanting to maybe lower the sort of the colorfulness of this. Maybe keep a few things more similar. Don't jump around with so many different colors here. But really, that's sort of your style. And really, what I want to teach you here is the techniques, and then you can sort of take that and make it as great or the sort of the color scheme that you want. So let's get started. What I'm going to do here is just open up a Word document, and you don't have to worry about any of the settings or anything. We'll just keep it as it is. Now, in order to split up this page, I'm just going to go back to this quickly. What we've got really is three sections. We've got sort of a header at the top, which is sort of your profile kind of thing, like just sort of your basic information. We've got sort of your more detailed information here in sort of the body, and then we've got a footer as well. So we've got your social media, some more sort of personal things there, and in this case he's put in his languages, and you could change these up, right, to anything that you think would suit the job that you're applying for. But I think the key thing is that this would grab your attention more so than probably the standard resume that you've got. At least someone might take a second look at it. So let's see how we could do something like this. And so, again, like I said, we're just going to start with a basic document, and we're going to split it up into the three sections. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to leave the top section as it is, and I'm going to create the middle section. And I'm actually going to use a drawing tool here. So I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to insert a shape, and the shape that I'm going to use is this freeform shape. This is kind of like in Photoshop the sort of the straight edge selection tool. I can't quite remember the name of it, but where you could just sort of draw straight lines with this selection tool. And so I'm going to roughly, we can modify this after, so don't worry about it being set in stone here. But what I'm going to do is put a mark there. So I'm just going to put basically almost like an anchor point, and just click on that. And you can see it creates a line across. And I'm just going to bring that line over to the edge. Okay. And I'm going to go straight down. And I'm going to go right actually to the bottom here if I can see it. So there it is basically. I might have to modify it after. Let me just see if I can get this. Yeah, I can't do that. Just a second here. I just want to make this a bit smaller so I can actually see the bottom there. Sorry. So that gives me a better idea of the dimensions as well. Okay, so shapes, freeform, and again, just from across, something like that at a certain angle. Okay, I'm going to command that basically to the bottom. If I hold Shift, the line goes straight down. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that in, across. I can hold Shift again to make it straight across, and then up to where we wanted it. And once you get back to the start, it fills it in. Now we don't want it filled in, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply take the shape fill and make it white. Okay, so it's going to be white. It's going to block what we're going to put above, but we've got that. Then we want to basically do the same thing. So again, I'm going to insert, And actually it's popped up here now on mine, but it might be in a different spot on yours. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Okay, and so just across, roughly the same angle. I guess you could probably copy it and modify it as well, but we'll go with this. So shift, straight across. And like I said, we might have to clean it up at the bottom in the end, but that's okay. And then we've got this one here. Now this one I do want to put a color in. So I'm going to just turn off the outline. White outline, sure. And then I'm going to put in the fill. And you could choose the color that you want, and sort of these color palettes might be a good idea. You know, you could use the standard colors. You could actually go into more fills and choose a custom color, so one of the RGB colors here. Whatever you like. You can even put some transparency in there if we needed to. So, I mean, I'm just going to, and there's your color picker as well. I'm just going to take roughly a color that we saw in there. So I'm going to fill that up, maybe with sort of the reddish color. Do we have any reds on here? We don't have any reds, really. Oh well, we'll go with something like that. Nah, I'm making decisions on the fly here. I'm going to go with blue. I'm going to have a blue guy. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put that at the bottom, a solid color there. Now what I'm going to do is bring in a picture. So I'm going to find a picture of myself and bring that in. Now, as you're probably aware, you want quite a serious picture. So make sure you find something that you know, fits the job you're going to do. And I'm just going to click up here and I'm going to paste it in. Okay, so there I am there. Now, if it doesn't move around, okay, which my picture isn't, I'm going to make sure I can wrap that text. And at the moment, I don't want it in front of, I'm just going to put it behind the text. And that gives me the ability to move it anywhere I want. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is I don't want myself right in the center. I'm going to offset myself a little bit to the side here. Now, depending on how your picture is, you might have to, let's just see if this works here. You might have to sort of add to it by cropping, and I think I can crop it out this way. And I'm actually going to crop it down as well. And you'll see why in a second here. So what I've got is me. That is me, I assure you. And I'm going to, you know, put myself there, and I've got myself off to the right a little bit. And I can do a little bit to the picture too. So what I'm going to do is give it a blue cast. And you could do this in Photoshop, but you know, Word does come some kind of neat things. So I'm just going to take the color, and I'm going to find a blue. Now, okay. So that's a bit of an issue. We'll have to fix that. I thought hopefully it would fix that, but it didn't. So I'm going to take a blue cast. I'm trying to figure out which one's better. Yeah, maybe that one. Okay, and obviously that didn't work out quite what I wanted. So I'm going to go back to my crop tool. Now I've messed it up. I might have to Control Z here, sorry. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to just leave that as it was. I'm just going to have to change the size of this picture. It'll distort it a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to go back to that color effect. I think I chose that one, and get rid of the crop. And I'm just going to extend this out a bit. Okay, I might have to lose the newspaper and sort of bring myself over there. Oops, I had that from before when I was practicing. Let me just get rid of that. Okay, and so, you know, depending on the picture, you might have to do a little bit of work. Well, that's probably pretty good there, right? Very serious image, gives you a professional appearance, looks pretty good there. Now we'll do a little bit more. I'm just going to get rid of, you can see there's a little bit of a line there on the outline. I had that there just to help me out, to identify where that section was. I can always go back, and I'm going to remove that outline. So I'm going to put no outline there. Okay, there's a little bit of a problem here. You can play with the points. So if I right click, you can see it says edit points. So I'm just going to do is just pull that guy over so that it cuts that out. And I might have to pull this one too. I guess just outside the paper is fine. Okay, so there. Looks pretty good. So we've got a nice setup here. I think I'll end this video here. We can just sort of keep working with it. And just in comparison to the original that we had, where was it here? Okay, yeah, that's kind of the look we're looking for. Okay, so we'll continue in the next video.